Alrighty guys, what is going up? I hope you guys are all having a great and amazing day today. Now in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the top 4 growth stocks that I am buying this month. I hope you guys enjoy it, and if you guys get anything in value, make sure you guys hit that like button so more people can see it. It honestly really helps me out when you guys hit that like button. So now, let's jump into it, roll the intro, let's go. Now, when investing in growth stocks, it's always very smart to have a nice solid base of ETFs or bonds to act as your defense in your portfolio. Because some of these stocks are going to be honestly pretty volatile. They're going to be going up and down at rapid rates, and honestly, I'm going to be investing in them for the long term. You know, I'm not going to care about the day-to-day price action, and honestly, I think it's smart just to have an ETF working for you, or a bond that's going to be paying you dividends, or something that's not all in one basket. You know, it's always smart to diversify, and I like just putting money in ETFs. So now let's talk about the top 4 growth stocks. Alrighty guys, so the very first stock here is Snowflake. Ticker symbol SNOW. This is a data company that just released their IPO. The stock is really just trading sideways, maybe a small downward trend, but overall, I do think the stock has a ton of long-term potential. Now, looking at it, you guys can see it did have that IPO breakout, really broke out to $320. Now, would I classify that as resistance? Of course I would, but honestly, it's not going to get there anytime soon. And I do think, honestly, the strongest resistance is around 261. I think that's a fair resistance that's around $30 off its price point right now. And yes, I do think that eventually we will hit that price point. The reason why I say that is because if you looking from the lows here, you guys can see that we are slowly going back up on an upward trend. So I do think that we will start to get buying pressure in the next couple of days. And honestly, I think this is a perfect long-term stock because data is one of the fastest growing sectors out there, and Snowflake is a perfect company to get into on a good price point. But with it being an IPO, I honestly always think it's smart to have a nice solid base of ETFs, bonds, or other blue chip stocks, because this is obviously a pretty risky stock right now. You know, yes, the company's growing at 175% year after year. The company's balance sheets look well. But honestly, if you compare it to, let's just say, Uber's stock was one of the most hyped up IPOs and was one of the most hyped up stocks for like 180 days after the IPO. Now, once investors started to realize, well, the stock's not making any money, they're not profitable yet, sold off pretty quick. Now it's down around 75 or 66%. So honestly, diversify your money. But honestly, I do think this is a pretty strong candidate for a data company to at least take a stab at. So now the next one here is ticker symbol AMD. AMD is one of these stocks that has been around the block for a minute now. Now they are a computer company, and they were rumored to be in the works of getting bought out by Intel. I think that's just a pure rumor. But looking at this chart, you guys can see it really just traded here, had some old resistance at around $60, broke out, hit that old resistance at now around $95 per share, sold off, hit this 200 moving average line, and really started to use it as some overall support. So if you look close here, you guys can see it did kind of consolidate along that line here before slowly breaking above it. Now we are getting some selling pressure coming and hitting the stock, and I do think that it's going to use this now 90-day moving average line as some support and at least get a rebound back up to these highs. That would be the ideal goal, but honestly, for the long term, I do think this is a perfect stock to get into. I think that we are getting more and more dependable on computers, on electronics, and AMD just falls right into that sector. Not to mention, if you look at the 2007 or 2017 bull run that Bitcoin had, AMD followed suit because of all the graphics cards that they sold to Bitcoin miners. So that's a cool little thing, and crypto is kind of slowly getting back up on that horse and is starting to move around a lot more in the industry here. But overall, this is a perfect stock to get into for the long term. Now, moving on to stock number 3, we have ticker symbol ZM. This is also known as Zoom. Zoom is one of the fastest growing stocks right now out there due to this whole recession we are in. I remember when this stock was trading at around $222, and now it's way over that. You would have doubled your money and then some. But now looking at the stock here, you guys can see that we do have a pretty nice upward trend, which is really strong. And another thing here is, honestly, I think with companies getting their dates pushed back when they're going to work, same with schools, I think that Zoom stock is going to continue to make more money, and a lot of companies are waiting like 6 or 9 months before they actually allow people to go back to the office. So, which is going to make Zoom stock do pretty well. And I still think that once this whole thing's done, Zoom is going to be a very, very strong contender for remote work. So it's always a good one to keep on watch here. We might get a little sell-off here, of course, once everything kind of clears up, but I still think there's a ton of long-term potential. Now the next one here is TSLA. I think we all know that stock ticker, Tesla. Now the reason why I'm going to be buying some of Tesla is because it's just consolidating here along this line. And I do think within the next couple of months or the next year or so, once they release their Cybertruck, they're going to be a huge competitor with Ford. Right now, Ford sells the most trucks in the United States, and Ford's balance sheet is not very good. But with that being said, I think Tesla could definitely overpower them. They have already over like 500,000 pre-orders, and if that just say half of those commit, you know, we're still looking at 250,000 orders for this truck. So this is always a good one to keep on watch here. Of course, they are one of the fastest growing companies out there. And yeah, their balance sheet doesn't make sense, but if you compare it to Amazon when it was growing, Amazon had a price to earnings at 3,200. You know, people are always saying Tesla's overvalued due to the price to earnings. I probably said it before, but it's always good to just understand that you're investing in future growth of the company. And that's where I think Tesla is going to be doing very well in that electric auto space. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys got anything in value, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, guys, go ahead and check out my course. It's $5. We talk about how to properly invest in the stock market. Honestly, 100% worth it. There's a group chat of people. There's everything that a successful investor will need. First link down below, it's $5. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care. Have a good one. Bye. Take care, guys.